Today, na the 27th day of September 2021. Last week, the president bide na the United Nations General Assembly, the 76th session, where that 10 day, most countries then in the world can go sell their own market. Forget the big allegios them. The one that we can give something for make them go able to turn their attention to waiting we don't they do when a good thing now we country. Just in case, they not look they understand, they not look they see. We can get an opportunity for make one way or the other, you go sell your market. So we serve young President Julius Maada Nibio in self bidede for go sell your market. So that the powers that be, the one the way they give, can able to see what you they do and turn them either side. But some things then they don't unfold, and as we dey lay we hand per them, my dear, we get for they can with them. The president be they talk to the world, and he talk something them day. We now, even before he talk, them people there begin for raise concern from last week, before the president talks self. Then right after that, the Ministry of Finance have become for say, you know what, we'll give you 2 weeks for do so and so and so. I don't think say the speech writer be either side because if I don't go back quick, you go change them. But it be left so. So what we go do now? Let me carry it force. Because you be not waiting the president be done say. But look how this force. The special needs school them na salon. Then feel neglected. Remember, the president tell the world say, he don't even tell we say 22% of we budget, they go per we education. Because the flagship program of this administration are the free, don't do quality education. The free quality education. Now are the flagship program of this administration. Well, inclusivity, the president can always talk about them. Where they try for include everybody, no child left behind, no picking up for left behind. All man, the picking up for benefit out of the free quality education. And when he be go selling market to UN, he be talk the good thing them. Where he don't they do for help. But anyway, the special needs picking them, the one they would work with special needs na salon, they're not glad. They want the government of Sierra Leone for do more. You want to know what the government done they do? You want to know if when school they open, now they all they open together? Or because of finance, the special needs schools them not able for open like that? But the president say inclusive, right? Anyway, make we listen to the conversation. Na Radio Democracy. Let we all learn something. How this administration don't they work better one with the one them we get special needs na salon.
Over the years, it don't be very difficult for special needs institutions in this country because
I want all and first. Over the years, when me, I want for believe say Not to this administration no more. Not to this administration no more. I want believe say from them special needs people in a salon don't be neglected. But free quality education come, inclusive of everybody. So I feel say they have get a space. And when the president can talk, he can mention them. Over the years, it changed to now or it still continue?
All our schools then they open, then special needs them will always remain for closed because most of we run body homes. And inside their body homes, then they will get picking them, where we get for feed and get for look after. So the difference between we and their schools then they, now that we get for look after them picking and they, and we not go able for open if we not get with subvention or with support from government.
Because of the extra work where they do, they will for take care of special needs picking them, without the government in support to them, they're not able to function properly. Without waiting government they give them, if they not give them on time, then self not go able open school on time. They rely solely on government. When other schools then they open, then self can open that 10 day. Well, let's continue for listening.
So if you ask me the question, yes, over the years, it don't be very difficult, it don't be very challenging, and we hope that things will improve.
So how this affects the running of the schools there?
It affects we so much because if you not get the money way for take for run the institution, inside that money, now they take for buy food items. Now they buy learning materials, they like papers where the picking and they use. Now they also use for buy or maintenance the motoka we they use for go with their secondary picking in our school.
Until they listen, all waiting in the outline. I don't know if you know the schools they were talking about now. Like the school for deaf and dumb, the blind school, I think who will be the good school? We be get some, I don't forget the name. Also, mostly the one them we can use crutch, then be they come out for can school. Then we get like then van them, where be they can drop them at school. I don't know if they still have those. But now then school and they then special needs schools then now they will talk about so right now. So make you understand where they outline some of the outside the expenses then they go. Make you not say who school okay. Now then school and they all right.
Now that same money they also use for do administrative costs like running the body home, maintenance of the bathroom, the electricity, and every other sector, payment of workers as well, when a very, very important component into that subvention.
You don't really outline them. It's seen a very important component. And then if government not give them, they're not able to pay teacher. Then you. Because then they try for augment, for help the government, for take care of them picking the air. Donald Cole say, he say with society can treat special needs, them like say they're an outcast. He say that one there, it's questionable and it can make somebody worry. He say civilization for don't help we for own up to we public and private obligations. So, he say from the starting this don't the day, from trade, it don't the day. If we get a free quality education now, we include everybody for benefit, then we think say the special needs people and people with disabilities, then say for the benefit. But we they really complain. Now continue.
So it they affect we if we not get them for the smooth running, because even the workman the way they work with, if they don't get payment for 4, 5, 6, 7 months, I mean you the authority self no go get the
Okay, it's the way they struggle for fender worthy. It say 4, 5, 6, 7 months if you not get paid. I don't think say you go use that as an example if you know they happen. 4, 5, 6, 7 months. Why should the people working with special needs, with people with disability, go there 4, 5, 6, 7 months without getting paid? Because them budget, then subvention, everything tied to waiting government they give them. So if governments not give them on time, they not get no side for go pull them again for give. But this now the same people, the the president tell we say, inclusive even during this COVID. Now so you go tell the world. Maybe you don't forget I go cow down there. But now listen for slow listen this part, yeah?
freedom for talk to them and for really tell them say you need for work harder, because you know they pay that work money for 5, 6, 7 months and instead of getting family, so it don't affect we very badly.
This particular one we talk so, they show we say even the kind of delivery where they're supposed for deliver, they're not. Because they don't tell we say, you can't go talk to teacher, you can't go talk to person, say, you need for work harder, you need for do this, because you know they pay. So sluggishly, now then go they work. That's whoever they come, now then go they work. Say, where you want to talk, you say, but how much months now not pay me? To myself and they come because I not get transport. Not so. Because we all know the system there. But we not think, say, then people themselves for be left behind. Okay.
Now look on to the point to South Society Minister of Finance to show interest in this una concern una get. So one would wonder say if not all the pressure like una the put or the advocacy una the put like this attention no will pay towards una. But you think say this na way for be?
I not think say we need for talk for let things happen.
Well, unfortunately, sir, Nayanas alone. If you want for make the yeri, you get for talk. But not to say it's supposed for be either. Not to say for be. A flagship program will for include people with disabilities, special needs. They've been neglected. Unless then Canada begin talk. I'll tell you say now from last week then begin ala. Now Ministry of Finance come inside now. Like if I say there no be no. Okay, maybe there not be no. Maybe. There not be no. But Nayanas alone. If you not to you bell, well, good luck with that. Okay. But not to say for you. Not to say for you at all.
Me just believe say for as long as authorities they know say special needs institutions then they exist, it is the responsibility of the authorities for see that then special needs institutions then they are given serious attention.
I know say Dr. Moinina Senge they do well, but I hope say they'll neglect this area. Because just like waiting, I don't know, Natina Donald talk just don't say, people with special needs, we can neglect them. With society can treat them like outcast. I just hope say not come on in mind, because you get data, we can capture the data then for other one them. What think can happen for the wire? Eh? What think can happen? Data no day where they show say these people and they need more attention. These people and they rely on the government in subvention for able for do them work. Patricia Maya say this one for true is horrible and even disgusting. The way our we own society can treat people with special needs, including the one them way they with physical disability. Well, we don't start the conversation. Then don't begin blow the trumpet, so we self no go left and behind. If some of we set down the fall shot in that year day, I think say we for be man enough, we for be brave enough for pick up the mantle back and say no, this one not right.
So it's a welcoming news waiting with the hearing from the Ministry of Finance, and no less a person but the Financial Secretary. Is really, really a welcoming news. But I also think we'll not for done over these 65 years, we'll not for done really reach to this point. I think because if you go now other countries, special needs institutions, then they look after them very, very, very well. But when you come to your own situation, you go around and see the conditions of them special needs institutions, then it's very pathetic.
Go around and see the conditions. A very pathetic. I don't say you don't see a young lady, you don't see another young man where they do sign language. Some of we can make fun of them, say, oh, what's in they not the same sign no more than they do. What's in they do under this and that. Say network discoveries, we get opportunity for interview that young lady there, Mami Peters. You know, say nobody no learn am for do sign language. You hearing story? Say it they learn from the people in safe. Because inside saloon, we no get no college, we no get no institution for learn sign language. We no get her. It they learn from the people them. Now then they teach them. That's what she told us. He also explained to us, say, even where it can go on TV. Like where, let me just use an example, where Nakovac, they do the daily press briefing. Because it can they give them opportunity for watch. Because we just take and say, they were now waiting. Because if we prioritize them, I think say ibadibate. If we're able to get an institution, we're going to teach people them how to communicate with them. Then they make I even wonder, after listening to her, I even wonder, say, okay, the way they teach they, how do they communicate? So, when the PRO they talk, say, for talk to them, for work harder, where the person they almost months they not pay, Sierra Leone, we need to do better. Waiting at the inclusivity now where the president can talk about. But now listen the way I done first.
Of it. Because now that the Ministry of Finance don't put their foot together, that this get for good to happen, we want to see that particular statement they be transformed into reality.
Not for Ministry of Finance, because they don't hear ala they don't be waiting the president go talk yanda. They no say he get for can make news small. Then self don't kind say no, in 2 weeks we they pay una, we go give una what una want, let them go back to school because they never go school. They never go school. They are Ministry of Finance, not for talk no more, but una need for doing. And I need for doing.
We know say from when the school open, special needs school not open yet. So when una plan for open?
Just as the financial secretary mentioned, we will get the third quarter subvention. We will get the fourth quarter subvention, because the situation about them special needs schools here, it's just obvious that they cannot open without money. If money no dey, they're not able to run the institutions. That's not the difficulties. So
then not the difficulty no more. That's not the reality. Then no they because they not get no other side for get money. And they can't function without the government giving them. So I mean they not be open from the time school open, they're not open. Because then who side the puller? Yeah.
So we assure the deputy minister that no sooner really we get those subventions, call we begin, because we self no like the situation here. We begin self, they sit on our house, they know they go school, and then company them when they go school. So then we just feel say because of their status, blindness or deafness or whatever, now that's make then they left them behind. So we self they get a lot of sympathy over the situation, as long as the subvention is reflected into our account, so that by Monday we will return back to school for recall or picking them, so that we will provide for them the service and for complement the efforts of the government for provide free quality education for them picking.
For provide free quality education for the picking them with special needs. Then go to feel say they've been abandoned, they've been left behind. Waiting do because regular schools then don't open, they're not able for open. And he say until the money reflect na their account before then go able go school. A outline for we waiting they need them money then they for. When are then day to day running, you know, I just want to bring the president small. Where we go sell the market na UN. Waiting it been talk day. 22% with national budget they go per education. But special needs they complain. To all learners, included other them 1 pregnant girls. Kumara them where they go school. Picking them where come out na poor and rural areas them. And picking them where disabled. This now president. Now he talk so. Now United Nations. Udo you waiting the PRO intel we just now. Say the neglect forever it don't happen. So who's one them where the president they talk about? Who's one them? Nah, then one they just talk about so. Or who's one them? Because I'm lost. And you just say the politicians then get speaking the way disabled, then something, then go get sympathy or empathy for them. So 800,000 more learners, the president say don't add. Waiting do because Dr. Moinine Senge he gets the data. 800,000 then add. He said they don't increase. We not to say I don't know partners them. No. Now waiting the government in they spend per education. Waiting the government they spend per education. Now they talk about so. He said they don't increase them to 22% to the national budget. Yes. He says school and no lock. Okay, that few things wouldn't be locked, but learning don't continue. Radical inclusion. Policy we don't make that everybody, no child left behind. Radical inclusion. Radical inclusion. All man. Even who say other people they frown at. Radically who they take upon we do. To all learners, tuition free. To all learners. You say they don't get grant for them. They are free. They know they pay tuition. Including picking them we get belle, picking them when I come ra, picking them we come out poor and rural areas them and picking them we disabled. All right. Now this the president tell the world. Now I tell the world. But I just play now for you, you don't hear it. Judge Kamara say, he said triple A. Now they call this. They call a lip service. So now blame the president. He say, and waiting they happen so. He said, now right the right for him. He say something, he not even go over him before he go talker. Sheku Mansare say, he said triple A. I lost me 2 hand them during the civil war na Salone. And he be one for go school where he come out hospital. He say in first day where he go na school, in teacher tell and say, he not belong na that class day. The person where be they pay in school fee, be get for fen another teacher will be the kind of host for can teach him. He say, when you disable na Salone, then consider you useless. In feel the pain where him become disabled. Yeah, Shekuman say don't tell where they follow we. And maybe some people may not be knowing story. But I guess you don't hear your own story now. Being disabled in Sierra Leone. It's not easy. The president talk good for selling market, but this now with the land now. Let's go with Usman Toli, make we hear waiting in get for we today. Welcome on board, Usman Toli. You get the platform, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Triple A, for your comprehensive analysis. And also, I would thank Radio Democracy for that report today. And Mr. Saliu, we at the PRO for the Special Needs Institution at Salone. But before I talk on this, I just want to express me sympathy to Mr. Sheku. His story is really, really pathetic. Now, for move on to the topic proper, we talk on President Bio United Nations statement we make in New York on picking them where they live with disability na Salone. Clearly, we don't listen to the PRO of the Special Needs Institution where they plead with the government for letting them improve the situation because what in the president say that the United Nations in order to reflect with the reality na Salone. Well, to be honest with you, Triple A, we all know say this administration and flagship program na free quality secondary education where it will absorb 22% of our budget. Clearly, we know say substantial amount of our budget they go towards education because nine them prioritize, nine are them mantra. And for make me analysis, I just want, first of all, remind myself some of the fundamental principles where underpin the free quality secondary education. One of them talk about equity. The other one, accessibility. Talk about integrity, system strengthening, and conclusion. All of them fundamental principles here mean a lot towards free quality secondary education. We all are listening to President Bio in statement we make respect to the special needs children in the country in terms of inclusion and accessibility. To start with, AAA, we all making boldly say, Nayasi, under this government, we don't see increase in accessibility, equity, integrity in the system, and indeed, the educational sector don't slightly improve, especially under this current minister, Wayne David Senge. Clearly, we see that. A lot of improvement has taken place, no doubt about it. As I say, one of the fundamental principles is about accessibility, wherein we don't increase the number of picking them where to go school due to the free school fees program. We don't see some amount of equity, where just being say they all look equal when it comes to the educational sector. But clearly, AAA, this is not to say that the government not exaggerate what they talk in terms of the quality education when they talk about. Even though I don't argue here, say, the government don't make some improvement in terms of education in our country. But there is a lot of exaggeration where I will pinpoint. As we continue for say at this program, some of the people away they write the speech for the president, they not they do the president justice, neither do they do justice to the country. Because if some of them speeches here where then they write, they reflect on the reality on the ground, then there is a crisis. There is a crisis. Because clearly, our expectation is not correctly managed. As I say, the 6 core components of free quality education, we all know, I don't call them, it requires some strategic planning. You need some strategic planning. And when you talk about strategic planning, it means the allocation of resource system in terms of money now, the equipment and what they use, on other valuable things that what they use towards education, then therefore allocate them correctly and on a timely manner. So if they're not able to allocate their resources here correctly and on a timely manner, then the strategy in a whole. And we listen clearly to the special need, the PRO of the special needs institution, and for the president to come out and saying that there is inclusion in terms of the special needs institution, I think it's a bit exaggerated, I will boldly say. Now, we all listen to the audio where they interview the PRO through Radio Democracy. I think Mr. Saliu Toure, when are the PRO for special needs institution. And one of the bold statements where the PRO will make, it talks says special needs institutions, them over the years, they lock. When the other schools then, they're not open. And the factor we're responsible for this is because of lack of resources. Money, no day for let it open on time. And you listen, you narrate boldly the reasons why that institution remain closed while as other institutions, them, they're open. Because the institutions, they're not going to open in the first place if the resources are not there in place for let them operate them. Now, just after the president don't make his speech, I think say most likely, in an interview, the special needs PRO for the special needs institutions alone. So you see how the statement here where the president can make does not reflect the situation at the ground. Because when you talk about, taking the institutions here seriously, or then sector here, the special needs institutions seriously, yeah? Because you use one word, it's a radical inclusion, a big one. And it entails taking prompt actions for make sure say that institutions here become highly inclusive. And when you talk say something become radically inclusive, that means you get to allocate the correct resources in a timely manner for ensure say, they enjoy the rights where they're supposed to enjoy. If you fail for disburse, fail for allocate the resources in a timely manner, I think the inclusion where you claim for, say, and it happen, then it's problematic. Because if other schools they're not open, then they go on time. Yeah? Then they open on time, then that one and they sit on our host. You listen to special needs PRO, what he say. Say most of them pick here and they left, then special needs pick here and they left now host, whilst in company and they go school, then they feel marginalized. That just like anybody, you go feel say you marginalized. They become demotivated. Those are some of the implications then, some of the consequences then. Where be say, you see the other one in the go school, they feel say you are neglected, they feel say, they become demotivated, So that in itself, the principle of inclusion does not hold. I go argue here, AAA. The principle of inclusion does not hold. And the principle of inclusion, when you look at them critically, it got some bearing, it gets some relationship with that of accessibility. It gets some, it gets some fine line with that of accessibility. Yeah? So, what am I saying here, AAA? The Minister of Finance, just after the PRO of the special needs school don't come out and then only pressurize the Minister of Finance because now they allocate the resources, the money, where they need for let them do the operations for the school year. Now the term they commit themselves. See, then go try for do just that. For let them make sure say them provide the resources them for let them continue for let them open the schools for let them continue the education. So what am I saying here? Yeah, while we argue here, say the situation at the ground reflect what in them president here, them minister can boldly say now the media, whether the mainstream media or whatever form of media, where they make them broadcast. It doesn't reflect. Because if you don't go to the United Nations, you don't tell the whole world, say, with a give, would they make radical steps then for ensure, say, children living with disability, parent learners, what not, yeah? We don't give them attention for make sure, say, these things, them, they are inclusive in terms of education and all that. But at home, you get a Minister of Finance who just come out after all the statement here we don't make boldly in front of the whole world, say, then Minister of Finance say, well, no worry, we're ready for improve the situation. We're ready for improve the situation. We're ready to go for commit ourselves. After they don't put pressure on the government, put pressure to the government for let them try for allocate resource system, for let them schools here open on time. Yeah? It's pathetic. Pathetic. The speechwriter, they do not only justice to the government or the president, because all the time it make the president look bad, but also then they disappoint with the citizens then, because the situation not reflect, the reality on the ground. I tell you, I give an example again for just show you say the situation not reflect on the ground. I listened to you the other day. It come out with some, strategic figures then, where the government. This now just like I digress a little bit, but these are all examples where they use for just pinpoint. Say what in the president, then they write for him for go read in front of the old wall and all that. It only reflect on what they go on in the country. Yeah. The other day, president go again at the same place, United Nations. He talk say, it is save the parent them excess of $500 a year, per annually. I mean, per pikin. Yeah, he come out with some nice figures. It's unfortunate that I not be able to join you, but listen to your thorough analysis. Triple A. You did very fantastic well in terms of the figures that we come up with. Because myself look at the figures, it rhyme with what you actually analyze. Yeah? On average, we all know, say, school picking pantam on average, Loticam, it's about 24,000 pantam. Times 3 times, we say about 72,000. Yeah? 72,000 school fees. So what it make that 4 million or 4 million or whatever, 4 million some hundred? I still they try for figure out whose side that figure they come out. And they ask myself, how much the government is spent by exercise books. Called textbooks then. Where the textbooks then. Basically, the main subject, not all the subject then. You talk about I don't say the first lady, they talk about hygiene, personal hygiene kits them, sanitary pads and all that, where they spend. You talk about savings from school transportation, then school bus them, how much they save, because now them, more no say the government is spend, except if they use, spillover effect, ripple effect of, what they happen at the other sector in terms of, but still they try for workout, modeling technique for workout, how they arrive at this 5 million. The other day, I find it difficult for me comment because I have not seen these figures. I have not seen the school figures, how much in the paper and school time. It's difficult when you don't see the figures then for make you conclusion, because you get for look at the figures, you look at all, you factor all the other costs then you make a conclusion. But I have been working on this for the last 2 to 3 days. I'm not able to make 8 out of this. How did they arrive at the 5 million or 5 million some hundred? So what am I saying here at Triple A? I think Mr. Salutue, when at the PRO for special needs institution, they make a very solid point. And in your comment, he not only direct them to the current administration, it's so all the other administrations, they not take special needs seriously. Yeah, students living with disabilities. They know they treat them seriously. For most of the time, now they always keep open last. And as I said earlier on, strategic planning just simply means you therefore allocate resources in a timely manner and ensuring that those objectives were set for support your strategic planning has got to be implemented on a timely manner. If you fail for implement those objectives in a timely manner, allocate those resources in a timely manner, then the strategy is problematic, highly problematic. So once more again, AAA, you have done a fantastic job. You break it down very simple, easy for we. And the government has not been doing since we listen to the speech where the president they make not only internationally but also nationally in speeches that we make now parliament. How many times we don't come at this forum? We analyze some of them speeches here. It does not reflect on the reality on the ground. And always I repeat myself. The way how they manage with expectations is wrong. And this is another way of managing people's expectation wrongly. When he come out and make statements which are not true. Statement the way not true, will not reflect, because any statement will not reflect on what in the go on now the country is inappropriate, inaccurate, I would say. So I will stop here, allow a chance to other panelists them, but I really appreciate you, AAA. You're doing fantastic because they really make the report comprehensive and come up with all the evidence where they back up the argument. So I will stop here, allow a chance to other panelists them and other callers them. Thank you very much, AAA, and thanks to everybody with the listening.
Thank you very much, Usman Toli. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Let's call to friend, make we hear waiting in get for it today. Welcome on board, us friend. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, AAA, for giving me the platform. And thanks a lot to all the listeners and viewers. And thanks again to Mr. Usman Toli for his contribution. Regarding this disability section, where the president in speech being there for catch and capture day, because we know say this issue of disability is something for do with humanity and inclusion. Then don't they get co-organization do try for help inclusion of this internet in this people that we handicap in different way. But the disabled people most times in a salon. Now one thing I observe saying and now they able to recognize certain areas as disabled. Because you get even the albinos who they say mulatto and disabled when they recently don't add to the number. You get the blind, the underway, we don't get problem like brother Mohammed Mansare, we don't get problem at the Civil War, all those kind of things. Some then are from landmines, some accident, they become disabled, some mental disability. All that they try for do now for alleviate their suffering. And alleviating their suffering, we not say inside salon, people with disability, they don't experience a lot of physical, social, and I believe say economic and even cultural barriers when they face them. So how the people they fight for help them, let them be able to achieve them cultural barriers for remove them. They get most times now charities and non-governmental organizations where they come inside and little things. And so, but when we look at the government in load towards them things there, would they realize say most times then they take say disable them. Because from what we don't see from the past 10, 20, 15 years, now then they say they are not a workforce who were able for work when they talk of human capital. So long not waste time they too much. They're not going to do them that intentional way, but overtly when the intention and go say, well, we'll get something because the people who they mobilize, now then get for go campaign for we, or now then get for pass the message. So but the question again, when the president say, some people they say, well, they don't know, or people they say, well, we not they see disabled, we don't help them. And don't forget, or even the one they would educate. The area that they cutting tree alone, when I didn't be pass and they go up State House, are they not seeing them? That's just one question. Okay, you see people and they come up, one organization will get like a one family within a 25 motor main road now, Congo cross, then they help. Then get people and like guy when they call Dumbuya, if first thing I forget and one of the help them are the disabled, then they put all things together. but they cannot reach because the final point they come to all the problem the weather man and 98 give. If we're able to forgive food, we something Holland because the Dutch government can help for subvent like the one family people that can go cross. Then they help other areas, the Germans and back they push under. Then you get the other one where they call Handicap International. We belong daily from 1996 after that war. You get different head choice. You get all these people and they try for let them push go before. But most times, then they always bring for help them. Maybe they will go out prosthetics or then go out wheelchair them for help them people there. But it's still they left to the government for subvent and able to see say we get one day way, then able to go school, then get institutions and let we subvent the let the timely thing will go on, then they will able for alleviate their suffering and will able for reduce their psychological distress. And when then they do this thing, then how they do what it result to mental state. Then some people that mental state they say it lost in mental law. It remove that awareness of being it is shame for say the shame for go big. It is see and that shameness go come up and it will go there usai cutting tree for let it go big. Because they don't create a mental state in the brain. So those are just one sector. Looking at the one then now where they go school, where the schools and they where then we don't try for bring some of them structures there, not to government put them directly, some of them now Handicap International because they don't stretch them, areas them. And coming back to Handicap International, again, what to make Handicap International not able for help more na salon the way when they don't begin? In 1996, that the first kind inside Connaught, immediately because they are based in France, na Leone. When they found in 1996 now, they can they because remember they just they under Ward 4. Now they then go base the office next to Ward 4. Then begin bring their prosthetic. Then finally begin the rehabilitation of the amputees. But what didn't happen because of political problem back? Because that same day still will they wait for the intervention where the ECOMOG and the 10 they actually they overloom they wait for them go able for comeback. So during this process, there was this actually 98.1 is doing good now, but in that time of the war, by then I mean get 98.1, they may get back the SLBS, the SLBS by then, when I SLBC. Then when they give news, rather listen to SLBS, by then you there at stake. You back when they listen to 98.1, you there at stake again to the junta or the government then. So then they can't do a propaganda say the French people then they smuggle arms them through the Red Cross. That was the propaganda. So and the French people and the first don't come, begin to train the people and prosthetic, begin to measure them, then ban them. They had to pack again to go back. Until later they come back. So that alone deterred them straight away. That is just one point of it. But looking at the disability, and who get the polio, people who don't get from polio, then they will not be fortunate for get the vaccine by then. Not to now actually when they help for treat for if eradicate her. Then get the albinos. Look at the albinos again, which they cry for. Then they go educational sector, but some of them are not having the cream. And rather than go for help, then that cream they wouldn't they use for the sun. The government be expecting and will subvent. What did they do? They know they get except that donors then they give them. We see wheelchair that donors then they give them. You see person with walking stick or whatever that donors. You get a lot of disabled organization. But the final thing they can say, outside government will say, who will do the catchment, wherein we will able to can assist. In other words, the commitment for long, we're able to enable and for long that will develop and attain something inside the quality life we will give you now. So that when we're able to do something where without we not listen to now, we're not able to achieve that. But when we listen to now, we will achieve that. But if they look, say, all they come to waiting government, they put on the table for them, we're able to help the amputees there. Because some of we, I don't go out for rich this. Some of we give with time in helping the amputees, and we suffered a lot. We lost some of our family, some people that then take it away from me, but we never give up. We stay standing there. But the point is here is government therefore they step in areas they wouldn't know say these are things and way good. They reduce the burden of stress. We're not going to get people that will get psychological problem. We're not going to get people that will go there at the main monuments, or how do they call themselves, the concentrate, when a main place, when a kind of a place where they look say a memorial place or something, when a historic a monument, where they when a natural monument, where would they go allow people for they go there instead they go put barrier, stop them not for going inside blocks, so but they not been they give subvention. Get the other place again when I behind for go just back of the hill station. We go into so that will take that road where they go to the peninsula. Then get a home back where then we don't get disabled there. When I didn't leave, but the homes are not subvent. Now one family still again they help them people they are small. They know they give. You see land business come back, then they say, oh, they pull around to go get land. What they happen back? You see the disabled and the other time back. Then they want they will not even educate. They know they regard certain things who will say, let we reduce some of the burden so that we will give them accommodation, we will give them a life way sustainable, we will able to allow them for let them go be feel inclusive. And when they feel inclusive, they are protected, then they get a mental state and will contribute because most of them are very intelligent. Because of their some of them are disabled, God they make somehow their mental states, just like somebody who is blind. All the other senses are very sensitive. All the other senses. So those other senses, and then they begin to make use. You touch a point about sign language. Then be only they able to manage from the little way that very one family people and can initiate forget sign language them because they give them sign language people away they see so. But they know they try for expand them. They know they try for say, well, I'll go put another the school for the deaf and dumb. So we'll extend that curriculum inside there. You go back to that deaf and blind school with another with case you know they what you go get for see, then we always tell you say we'll not get better for what we will do. We don't even see. I believe say we able doctor, we don't even go there, even buy some souvenir there. You see the needs of the people. This is what when they try for talk. They not they talk say people are not coming with help. Now they talk say he make help. Now they talk say the president. They talk about people who they inside the government, watching sometimes they get for prioritize. Nobody know they say people are not they help because what they are human beings and they think they are doing something, but they are looking at something we get for reflect on people and well-being. Because when you put things that we for well-being, when you not get and say I not get them, but you they see that the school what they did. Then recently they lock the school, teachers in strike. That one they do on the news. You can pay anything them. So the subversion, waiting on the government for the gifts and this will they give for long will help for the teachers then. Now this will help. If we not they will get the food because they actually like some of them they get food, but the food is coming from this Dutch and Holland place where they can distribute to them. Sometimes and then they even find place and they pay money for them and go park there. The one they will not be able to get place, now they see and they slip from the net. What will they see say in a stadium? Now they people and they go live. This way the disabled people that will not be get place, few of them. So all these kind of things you find out say now because government get for look say the hybrid technology when they introduce, the ideas they when they say they introduce, let them see say it they reflect. You get access to disabled people and when they talk about this. Some office and go people who get disability can't access those buildings. They don't try to put that in there. But how far are they implementing it? It don't date from years and years. So then they try to say, we include now. We don't even pass a bill for the disabled. There was a time when they say they show amount of the budget when they put for them. Because there was a time after that budget, I think that the budget before this, where somebody go down there and say, well, we'll not see this way. And then begin to argue. In fact, there were two of them, disabled person and the minister. He said, well, now this we don't give. But then they ask, say, well, it doesn't reflect. We don't know how much we forget. Whether then they just say words or then they give people who know they go give them. But I believe say it is likely not available for letting go do this. Coming back to the knowledge of we leaders them, like the knowledge where we able man when we minister of tertiary or whatever education, David Moyni is saying it. He is actually trained in those kind of areas of prosthetic limbs.
That the program we even they do. Now for that, even we see this particular man where they call something, he get for acknowledge him, say he they do well. But I the question that side they back because that is one of the speech again where the president begin, not to this time, he get another other speech where he say we get bionic something, we even get MIT something, where now they be sending and they run that program. But if you don't do prosthetic, so but I don't know if we cram for them for long game, a kind of say you train people them now this sector, now we go make them a big thing, we go develop. Because the reason why I question, I recently, about 3 to 4 weeks ago, I don't know, people in go here, when they go distribute now that place now Lumley, Cheshire home or so, then go distribute some limbs and we now some 3D version limbs them. When the guy come on a UK, I think a UK somewhere he come on. He said if you need them, when I tell the people and we want, let them try come for them. But at the question say if he was doing it, I don't believe if those people should have come in. And there's another guy called Choi, where they raise money at Choi. I think that's something Conte or so. He try for build up again prosthetics now fundraising. You see, but then get different prosthetic, what are the harness, they get them hooks, they get the cosmetic arms, knee, ankle, foot, and orthosis them. But all that in there, now would expect say people and for all day they will get knowledge. But if the knowledge wouldn't go, I can always say it can become wouldn't they see no more, you they sell perma, then go put coloring with what talent will become perma, you adulterate them. So you become somebody in a political arena, then you likely something not to specialize footballer in that arena. Arena is the knowledge of the technology we get for do. But because of that technology, then bring a link and put her inside education side. So you've already put something and come back and say, let me help my people. Let me gather people in. Let me even make me influence for that to bring things. They will not know that might be in the plan. Because when they see somebody where somebody when I well know somebody when name they go around with some other things but where they try for acknowledge in knowledge. So these are the things where they try for see people and therefore they transform their knowledge. We not for see like go infuse her inside political arena. If you're not fit for political arena, if I did myself, like they serve the game of people and because tomorrow when I come on politics, I get a job to do, even in my community. I will feel safe, so I will feel secure. These are the things where they try for look at so that the one that we're vulnerable, the guys, the more when you talk of disabled, now the more the disabled girls, now then they experience greater exclusion and injustice. Because remember, when they talk about rape and other things, they're vulnerable because at moments they need food and the other thing. So you see, say they are vulnerable to that those kind of crimes against them. So now the more higher now the agenda again where you look of vulnerability because the lack of resource and support they will give them. Let them look into them people there. Where don't they work with disabled them? We are guide there and that somewhere around short street, somewhere around that area. Then get an office and they are carrying them again. Then while they Congo cross, the lady call they call her Hadi. I think come up Senegal, the can't begin the help salon. But now they talk to you, bro, they go before the point where they say, let them contact them people there. Statistics did it, knowledge did it. We then go able to tap, work in hand with them, multidisciplinary way. We then go tap knowledge, let the country go before. If not, then people that they get for they go there and another cost in 3 days. The one they wouldn't get for help, but not go the day. So we hope say God will make them go able for empower them people there in any way where they're able. Let them try for them. Let God make them able to turn their heart to them. Those people need help. Thank you very much for giving me the platform. Let God bless you all. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Most friend. Thank you,
Most
sir.
welcome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir.
Let we come with Tony. Make we hear waiting in get for we today. Welcome on board, Tony Toure Jones. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, Abraham, thanks for and Cabo, fumble them. A very important area where may you know say or people that where they listen know say it need urgent attention. And some of you don't they talk this for a very long time, especially in other forum Monday, because I happen for being a group where yourself day where I mean they time where we go do donation na blind school one time. And when you go seeing those area, especially the environments and the outside, people are challenged. You understand? And you see the suffering in their faces and everything. You feel so pathetic. We got some people and we not members within our group. You understand? Some people not able to hold them. Then they cry throughout. The way they see blind school and everything and everything. Those people have been challenged for a very, very, very long time. Disabled people, they're not only disabled, other aspects where we know they like deprived community. You understand? Then people then they food safe, Abraham, food safe. You understand? Even when we give them food items, they tell you say the soup, you understand? The money for take cook, you understand, for eat the rest or whatever, save someday, they come on time. We know say yes, government they try their own bits. But these are people and we some of these people and we go salon where they manage the realm of things and salon. They know how the Western world they cater for them people in day. Because these are people where we're challenged in so many aspects wherein not go because of the disability or because of the way you get for treat them with neglect. They don't even have infrastructural environments where you go feel say they get all the activities where they go engaged in. Some of them are just music than they do. If you go blind school and all that things, them I feel say they just need to up their games. One, how you able for rectify things because now it's not gonna be like say, oh, this is an excuse just for fence solution to the problem. They can have a vibrant help desk, a desk where they know say this they address their needs or urgent needs them where they need. Because when you look at some of them things that we think can happen, you get come here and the principal talk what they were blind school. At the take blind school is a case study right now. The guy tell me say some parents and they can't left them picking, then they abandon them. They don't they ever come again, especially when they picking them very challenged. You understand? When they get some of them, then disorder, then they or whatever problem we didn't get, they don't ever come. You understand? Even for pay school fee, even for can't take them because we did it that weekend. There's some parents them they can't take them picking, they carry them go to us for weekend. Some not able to go weekend, so they just daily. You understand? But if there is an activities where they can set aside for the one and nationwide, say okay, these are the activities where they do for the one they want to go weekend or what's so make them feel lively. You understand what I mean? There's no way school for open. They want they know they go school. You understand? They should be prioritized. They should be number one. In the scale of preference in terms of distribution of resources of everything. You understand? We've seen yes, minister the past administration gets a minister way in a disabled person way. You understand? If you say those people for don't use the opportunity for child for channel the or build a structure. I mean something way go way sustainable way fundamental way at least we're able for solve the problems. You understand? Like an help desk. No, we not see them forthcoming. So what you therefore do is not appointing or give somebody say can't end this with it, but make sure say there's effective monitoring. That kind of effective monitoring where say if there is 1 million leons allocated for them, that 1 million leons is fully utilized on them. Make the people the way they work because sometimes when they make this allocation, what happens? The band the way they up like the way they handle the administrative aspect, where they are not even part of the disabled people or the challenged community. They are the ones who go down eat the money, don't the money not even go down to them. Not that sometimes they don't make allocations, but let's say they make allocation of 10 million or let's say $1,000. Now the boss where they settle the director don't eat $500. Then the deputy say get for it you, the accountant get for it you, this and that. So the waiting they left. Now like a peanuts when they're able for utilized for make the guy then he really gets better service from the things than they. So this is a situation where if you have an help desk where whatever resources where then the channel to the one make sure say it's fully utilized on them. You understand? If it's possible, get them people, they just let them party where they live. People that will play sports and they handle sports. You see, watch where they look analysis, the way they play basketball. All these guys, guys that don't play, Charles Barkley, Shaq, these are the ones that way they are because they have passion for their sports because they play the sports. You understand? If you put people that were very challenged, they go, well, say these are sincere people, probably they might find the solution to their problem. They might know exactly how they want and they feel at the back end when they don't get the service. So you understand? Some areas then they were in, we need to make the president to just the speech. The speech can be one, but we get some presidents where you understand. I'm not saying before me come me the worker. You get for make sure say you dey move. There's something. Don't wait for make you get the council done at your office. Then do after presentation, whatever. No. Some of these things can be verified, just like when auditor they go for go verify the fear of the view of whatever. You understand? Forget it, true and fear view of audit for say whatever documentation of financial records will then put in place. It's true. You understand? Eh? So sometimes you need for the calm down and do spot check on certain areas then. But you can forget that kind of flexibility. Not all time being at the office. It's good, it can be at the office. It can get days that it can be at the office. That's one thing where actually they give the Minister of Education at least again kudos because he's been trying that same trend. They go down, try for monitor. All the principal they get tablets. If you even talk about data, because all those information where they get, they get them from those people. So you get a core person where they tell all these things put together. So that's why you see most times when they talk about figure, most times 100% or 99% or 95% of those figures he's saying, some of them are true. I'm telling you this, but what will they expect from the head? You understand? Some of these ministries where they handle some of them crucial areas, yeah. They're not the effect, they're not the management style or whatever where they use. That archaic method, archaic style them. We don't pass. Now they sit down in office you are for able for. It's just like when you go say you dey optic to the alatif. You can't be optic to the alatif. You can for go down chase and able to see what is happening. Then you go able catch thief, man. That's not just, I mean, the dramatic expression. You understand? So if you can go to the field of different of them ministry, get a one at your office, you try to say, today, this week, quite gap. Now, the Minister of Health, me in the worker foot. Let's see. Not so for the go commission no more. Make and go SFC. So when you do presentation at the world stage, you fact based. You knowledgeable of waiting. Something that they will say for no go in now you presentation. Now you speech, but you're able to talk on and elaborate more on it because you get a feel of what is happening. So you not just somebody just do your speech. So you know exactly. You said today I go to the Ministry for Energy and Power. Let me see exactly what is happening. Don't just sit in the office, then come and do presentation to you. You say, oh yes, we're working with this, and then you get a Minister of Information. We could go defend the because that's his own job. It's just like when you play 11-man soccer team or football team. Everybody gets your own role. Your role now for defend. Your role now for not for can't talk the bad or the pitfalls or the channel. The role now for make you can defend every year, every facet, every area. Even if you're not do well, for make you can defend. So you get for make sure say there be prayer so you understand. Because if you get a feel of the thing, you be first hand, fact based, knowledge based of what is happening. You need to go sit down and waiting because something and then you go know this is how they talk. So I don't feel I mean they just can't make presentation to me. You understand, eh? Because what thing happen, the people who they write their speech, call different ministry, then supply information there. Then just bill and put and do rights. Nobody know they verify. But they forget for say some of them one stage here when they go sit down for do them presentation. They get embassies, not Sierra Leone. They get staff there when a liaison officer, they get PRO, they get this. When they don't inform, they don't work on the ground, I gather intelligence. So before even the government they say this, they already don't get the information because they your job every day now that they are paid for. So some of these things that we use you want for hide, they know the reality. Because somebody where they're on the ground, and you want to buy newspaper every day, they read this newspaper, they do their reports every day, and submit it at the head office, now the head country. So they actually get a feel. Some area when at the area of interest, they able to go down, able to forget the information. So even before you go make a presentation, they knew about these things. So we make with president. He's been busy, he's been trying to get things done or whatever. But so tell me where he need for get himself involved at the forefront where some of them things they had happen. Let it get a feel. You can see what's in happen at the Western world. You see, President can go no more. The president of America go na motor industry. Who sign the name of COVID vaccine? It go yeah. It go side them. Just not to say they go for papi show, but he want for feel. He want for know exactly. So when he talk, he's been informed of what they say. So I mean, let them just get ahead. Work with the people are there. I mean, the Western world, you see how they've been prioritized. If you want go down, just joke with them people then they. Just joke with them. You see how the law will handle you because they cannot fight for themselves. They cannot speak for themselves because nobody get them ears. Nobody will listen to them. But you get authorities or people the way say you build the support system, build the support. That's it. I mean, I'm your take Abraham.
Thank you very much, Tony.
Welcome, Abraham.
Yes, caller, you live on here. You name and the call from, please.
Yeah, it is not Patrick.
Yes, Patrick, you get 3 minutes, sir. What you get for it today?
You see, waiting may God bless the overseas, America, Europe, and outside, is because of they take care of the disability, they take care of the helpless people that were not able to fight for themselves. And God is hidden thing, with all the bad way they did in this country, with all the wickedness, killing every day, other side, but you see, God is still, the country still, they progress and prosper. Because of that, they take care of the elderly, the one that were not able to help themselves. But when they come to our own context now in a salon, it's like when we disability is like, I don't know, like he did under curse. Like you are under spell or curse that, you know what, this one we go blame her with witchcraft. Now you go see some people that they give back talk. Now you know what your family don't do. Now you know what you don't do. We see them at this condition. All them thing and they will not care about with elderly them, will not care about with disability them. All them people will not even care about none of what is it. And then people are they suffer. Not to today, not to this government from the beginning. Salon, if you're not disability, let's say you're not blind or whatever, unless your family well to do, where you go school, or you go school, you able read and write, then you able at least get something for yourself. Unless your family, or maybe God bless you, you're in that situation there. God bless you, NGO that pick you up, they sponsor you. Or we see most of with disability with institution that will get a disability thing. Now NGO the sponsor most of them. Government not the sponsor them. Not say they're not the sponsor. They're the sponsor them, but the money not they go to them. Now the one that were there before the student they get the money, they left that but that they can't ask them. They not they make report. What you wanna do this year? What you wanna do last month? Or nothing. They don't make no report. So most of the institutions that were getting disability challenges, most of them run by NGOs or organization where they help them. So that make you see some person will come under come blind school or work, you able read, you able write, you able do something for yourself. Maybe God bless them, you get NGO where they sponsor, or you come up from family where you well to do. But if you can't deny a family where no, that's it, they not even consider you for like getting self for it. Even the individually, some of not all sometimes the individually the way we maltreat with disability people than a salon, starting from government. But the way the individual salon man they treat disability people then it's disgusting. So they not get one regard for none of them people there. One regard. I'm not gonna say now you blind or you there for this or all anything and they. You not get one regard for them. You see, even the albino, the all kind, any disability condition we get, will not get regard for it. Let's say if you're a senior citizen, you not get picky, you not get pap, you don't worst. I also go in the street for big no more. That's it. You go in the street, the big tay, maybe you can't sick, something happen to you, cold, pneumonia, all kind of things, you for you die. So we'll not get regard for the way we treat with the people then. So that makes it see something and they then blessing and they not the kind of we country. He had we see we can go salon, we see some look one time talk to the camera whether they show then some of them disability guy the way they make cold pot and all that. Yeah, they get handwork, they do work. Then kind of thing their government look for place for them. Build place for the outside they go they able to work even if they're not disposed they get place the way that they able because they are the guy they do well they're pan and beater there they do good job there they make them money the small money feed the family there so on the marriage day we talk to the camera and show them people that they but government don't care about anything then they even the one that were the war victim there who side they today no side we still the laugh there now we make mock the look that guy in your story. Now God left for help that country there because the wickedness too much. So the individual there first, government your own wickedness in there first because now make you see some of these people they die mysterious die there because they don't give you money for let's help people there, let's sponsor people there or buy waiting for buy let the thing they run, you angry so you don't eat that money there. If you don't cost the they say if you not affect you, they affect you picking them. Because God not they sleep, God they watch. And then people they cry every day. They cry, they go to God every day for some small help. So no need that much. Just small more outside they go sleep or what they go to eat for the day. Yeah, so whatever the government they do, they need for do more what they do because whatever the big man go talk na you and then the world knows say yes. The whole world knows say na like go like it. So we not do more than we say for that because we not say they do well. But with individual and asylum, the people there, we look for respect some of them people there. You dey see how they dey maltreat inside family member, they say they maltreat their own family member. I not go talk individual outside person. What's it? Able waka, able do that. What some good day, they know the wives, they know because they know able fetch water for themselves. All that thing and they abandon them. Unless maybe one of the family member where get sorry go able to take care of them because of that. We don't see people that we don't see that they mama they abandon their own picking themselves. Is the God there for helping in that country. Because that story they are not so today. If we begin talk, I will not go come on because it's too much. It's too much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Donald Cole he say, where we judiciary become independent from the executive, that thing we don't ready for succeed nas alone. He say, no matter how we advocate for the disabled people them, without the needed legal backing or maybe even bring a lawsuit inside there, it go only take the wisdom of the one that within our power and authority for give just a little bit of pinch of the national cake to the disabled population. Yes, caller, you live on air. Your name and who call from, please.
Yeah, it's not Mike. I call from Philadelphia.
Yes, Mike, you get 3 minutes, sir.
I just want for the disabled. I don't feel say they will do much for them. Trust me, because even the people who are not disabled, they know they do much for them. Now the disabled, they will do something for the people who get to 1 2 foot way normal, they know they do nothing for them. So the disabled, and it go very difficult for them to say get chance. So I know they say anything bad, but I just hope say the government open their eyes, we can do something. But we only call on God, God, God. But we're happy with the people who put as responsible people away for take care of the situation when they know they do their job. God give you brain, follow use your brain. We look like say we leader, they know they use their brain, Then they use their brain for thief, but wake up for development or help the country move forward, they know they use their brain. So now they left for the call God on people who for hold accountable for the things they want them for they do. You know, and people are if you know they do the job, advocate and lock them up on the road. At the bottom line and they. So the next people then go set example for them. Or they can they not do their job, then left there and then go scot free. So what you will gain from that? Nothing. You know. Now who know they set example for them. Now the problem now they. And then they continue to do the same thing over and over. And then come to the president's speech and all the speech they will make, even at parliament. I've been listening to Usman Toli where he say, they reflect to the people in the country. But the man they go over the speech over and over before you go read this, before you go actually, read the speech now. Whosoever you go, either in New York or in parliament, they go over. The man they see exactly what's in the speech. Now the negligence of the leader they will get now the problem that they not care about the people in itself. They just care about their own well-being and their family. You know. Them type lie there, with the leader had a lie, or with president, you go. So you get for tell them. We need for the tell them the truth. All the sugar coat here. Tell the man the truth. Now lie, now complete lies. You know, the human capital development where they talk about. They stay on us alone. The education one of the flagship program. It don't fail. Just accept that it don't fail. It don't fail. When I come out and tell the people, they say we flagship program don't fail. And we're sorry. When I begin for they apologize for the thing they want I don't do. And salon, man, salon. We need them people, yeah. Would they put in charge? When they know they do their job. When they come on a power, we get for hold them accountable. But when they in a power, we get for hold them accountable as well. Your contribution,
All right, thank you very much, Mike.
man.
Yes, caller, ID live on here. Your name and inside the call from, please.
Yeah, Triple A, thank you very much. This is now Umar, the call from Los Angeles, the great city of Los Angeles. Listen, first of all, before I go further, I go talk about my brother Mike. Brother Mike, then there's your why they talk say the opposition they in the best position for do. Yes, the media they do it. But what did AAA do? Now then your job back for do because if you not believe you can do a research on what really opposition then they for. Now then job that because anything what the government say, then the responsibility for counter that and tell we the people that say no, this man tell us say na yellow. Well, we don't check, not to yellow, now green. Whether they pay attention or not, they don't need for worry that. Let we, the populace, let we make a judgment come election day. But if you say not a opposition for do that, then why then be a opposition? Just like what you they talk about right now. Then Kia will bring that because they see what the Republicans and Democrats they do now all the time. Then Kia will go around and say, look, this man just don't go now. Now the whole world he tell them say, he get a radical inclusion. In handicap or no handicap or people of disability or all it help them. Well, look what you don't find out. Now then they wire. Look watching this gentleman go talk to 98.1, then for even take that and run with them. Now that they call politics. What's in a politics? You then look for another man in wicked point. Then they take that and run with them. Tell the populace say, this man just go tell you now. He go tell the whole world say, then they allocate money, 22% for education. In talk say that they take care of disabled people. Well, look what the disabled people they can't tell me. We get picking them when they go to school because teacher they know they for teach them, teacher then they need to pay them. Picking they need to get what they're supposed to get. So that's one. Two, AAA. I don't know for another African country, maybe you don't go to another African countries. But Sierra Leone not ever make room for people of disability. Number one case study. Look, all the building that we're going to get at Sierra Leone. When a public building them. You don't see anyone on them when designed for people with disability. You couldn't get an air. Usai, you were able to claim small step. You could use wheelchair. You were able to, even the bus system. You they see the bus system, they create space at the front. For if you the ride bike, you want catch a bus, Usai they put your bike. When you go inside the bus, once you a disabled person, the bus they stop. There, in California, we bus system. The first 3 long row seats them at the front. Then tell you plain. 1 are for senior citizen. 2 disabled. When see they see disabled, then stop for them inside. Because the bus them built for that. Then get the way with that step there, they turn to side for let them ride the wheelchair. Then inside, we now sit down at that first row, then they tell them, I say, get up. Because this the sign there they say, now for senior citizen, not for disabled people. Show me any building or anything when a government, a public building, what then design for disabled people. They're not do them. You know, this government not got time for that. Shaka Stephen not been get time for that. Albert Magai not been get time for that. Charles Magai not been get time for that. Mama not been get time for that. Nobody, none of them guys not get time for nothing what they for do with people with disability. They not create no opportunity for them. Just like what Tony say. All those other guys they make money, especially the blind school. Now for sing, when they sing, what means small, they sing in SLBC, SLBS. Maybe they don't make money or foreign donor them. Maybe this young man, David Senga, I they fault him too much. He they try. He not an educator. He just get a PhD, but he not an educator. But completely believe me, to me, as he said, it do way better as all the other ministers. Maybe when this don't turn out to light, anything with anything will come to light. It is put a first step on her. It do something. It not so that crazy, arrogant one with just the brush. When something come on to light, then bring country attention. It's bad for them get for bring country attention. They're not supposed to bring country in attention. Now things that what they're supposed to do. The whole world just like what Brother Patrick said. Look how they cater for them people in their country. Yeah. But we Africans, the number one thing, America not get blessing. America dysfunctional. Look them family way of setting. I tell you what, Africa get the worst family way of setting. But we always comment and cost them. But look how the young government and the people, even people are one of them at the government. Look how they cater for people are what they need. Then get what thing and call wheel on food on wheel. Then get all the other program they are. Not of us at the government too. Look the former president, what did they do? That guy with the cutter, they build houses them for underprivileged people them. What thing will your ex-president they do? Before that they line up people and they call the out of the name. So now the difference that when I can say anything but overseas, but the way where they structure them country, then where they see. We not breeze. We not even they know we are close. But we always ready for condemn them. Oh, them family culture, not this. We got the worst family culture to start with, me brother. Now that no more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Umar. Yes, caller, you're live on here. You name and who side the call from, please.
Yes, this is Ahmed. I call from UK. Yeah.
You get 3 minutes, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. I know for this program, as we keep following all the time, for actually know waiting and waiting they go on our country. With regards to all which they happen, or with this education, with this inclusiveness and this radical inclusion of the president they talk about, the point here is that the previous, when you talk about the past governments again, we don't grow to that country, we grow to blind people and disabled, or I can imagine that we be doing the guys, them, John, there's some guys, them they do very well in school, up to high school, up to sixth form. Then there's the people, government they put we go for make it, they're not even too much of like now how this government they propagate things and then they work towards that. Yeah, we can understand certain problem. We have done the long go problems actually. But before, like the previous speaker said, most of the NGOs and they sponsor all them disabled schools and they sometimes they see say actually them they do well. All a few of them back they drop and then they big and stuff. But the one that way some of them they where we go school way then they do perfectly well and then go up to a higher level, you know. But come to this government, then they propagate all this educational stuff, and you know they reflect. Like I tell you, more I think I say even I can tell you, I get the way don't sit SS. The other boy, he failed for tell me just then they say can go for admission and he gets a very good result. They just play study and stuff. And because money no day, and your man they now you know they're not telling me earlier, you know. So would they pay money? Would they use? I don't understand how these people say, oh, this education is this and that, but not to the facts and tell people at all. We get people that we work at the system. We don't work at the system as teachers then as well. I don't work at the system. I know people in the system. The system now not corrupt. Now they're based on politics, they're based on belong to this particular group. Even the permanent secretary at the education side, for make them post this some side, for make you get some facilities, for make you get promotion. It's just rubbish, my brother. It's just rubbish. People don't want to see them facts, yeah, but today we don't see them openly. This is never happened before. Never happened before. So another education aside, we don't be teachers. Another country we grow, graduates come out, can begin working at top schools. So we know what they happen. We know exactly what they happen. If we compare all those days and now, these people then just come at the stage, the world stage for make money, then just find a cabal. Yeah, we can understand like the Vishenge not get any background of that educational policy or principles. Because, but for me, I know they on that. Oh, which they do with you trying it. I don't deny when a computerized system where they bring Kana or whatever. But you can forget a technocrat, somebody will get that educational background, that field, where really able. But then guy then just form a club, a cabal, an elite of people the way they support these presidents, then come into power, then they begin to embezzle, they begin to put more money, big money at the international body, get money and just waste all that. And you know the reflection at the ground. Really people in the suffer. Nothing only reflects absolutely. So you know, so for me, that's my take. You know,
All right.
nothing absolutely is going on, my brother. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you very much, caller.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and who side you call from, please.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You're live on air. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Yes. Hello. This is George from Boston. Yeah. So I just want to talk about the president's speech now at the UN. He embellished, like way Omar Takamo, like, you know, sometimes these people, you know when they can say the world are a small place, it didn't have fingertips. Back in the day, maybe you could go you lie, but now you're just a video away. Maybe don't go. Every time I go salon, we all say I would go salon. How much then people are there, we didn't need to care for them. These are some of these folks, whether not because of trauma, because of road accidents, but most of them, even after this war, how many years, when not then lose them, then limbs them through barbaric acts. They're not for good undergo. They're not for good. If you judge a nation on how did they treat the most underprivileged or the most vulnerable population. That's how you judge a nation. So I feel say what Mike talk say if they not even provide for the regular person, they had to go provide for disability. I know what he mean. It don't mean bad, but when you look into that from a different context, you go feel say, well, they try to put them at the same, like say they no matter. But I know what you mean. I get the point anyway. These are the people that actually, if you want to communicate to the world, say you're a better person, that you really look for progress. Because these guys, like what you don't take, they're not even fair for themselves. They have, when you say vulnerable, they are the vulnerable of the vulnerable people. And all they rely on for the big everyday, no healthcare system, no transportation system, no shelter. Mostly they die of pneumonia during season here. But somehow the president and entourage, they pass every day in that country. They see these folks. Never ever they attempt to them. Maybe get one story where I go this last time I go 2020. One Pekin, he may get some type of psychiatric issue. But she must have been like early 20 something, a born Pekin. The picking in back. You see the picking. She's so the picking dehydrated. On the sun, it is big. It is big. Somehow somebody get that girl pregnant, but enable can take care of that picking. And the picking then and back, it pass all over the place. Pass and maybe go for put money, get that is it. It's just like so when you kind of UN they talk all you speak all this that's what we do, that's what we do. The fact the people that go with it, where you did. I mean, where are they look the president in face? In actual, why they look in countenance, in actually body language, it not very comfortable because he knows that people that go for call and say this is pure BS. They know say that pure BS. Well, in regards to education, the education, the person will be needed for. I don't know be who do I Alpha team, but I don't know that the last minister. Yeah, yeah, I think they were saying is an upgrade, relative upgrade from the because I remember when they stay up now next I did feed into the AYV program. We don't even get curriculum or syllabus safe with a man be did. So saying yes, not to like when it's not to educator, but it did work with the two-way get. And when you did serve under somebody, you sometimes yes now you boss, but you know I come and just expose them that way. So I guess the free education, the way they roll them out, is the idea is good. The idea is really good. But the rush, that poor impulse. We are in because we don't run on this flagship. We know I'm not care about legacy. We just want to say, oh, we did do what that talk and do. That talk and do not narrative. Then they find no. We want to leave a legacy. Therefore, don't pilot them to your force. Start them and see. Let people come, if even in independent auditor, they let them know what the holes them and what you need for fix. What you need a clear assessment. After you don't pilot, and there you go. You spread a nationwide. But when you focus on that talk and do, then you end up for just spread everything. But even free education, you say you don't save people in $500 on average. But the parents they pay in school supplies. I mean, and the guy calls there every day. Way picking they don't take this back here, they don't take this one here for going to other schools them. Even the forms are so expensive. You got to go bribe the people and they for accept them. How is that free? How is that free? So you say that free in the name only because they need to pay, but because of inflation, they have to spend that whatever money you see they don't save in other areas. So it defeat the purpose. So these are just, we have a long way to go. Me no wrong. I would work in a group home for over 12 years there, and we all know how people in it, like what Umar they talk, how they treat their own disabled and because they take advantage of them. If you take advantage of them, you will pay. And everybody will do on your own case. So the thing is not just what we're able to do as a CR network family and also get Boku charities and Boku, what we able always do, we'll continue for do. But we are far away from anything close to development or even developing. You don't take that.
Thank you very much, George.
Yeah.
Yes, caller ID live on here. You name and say the call from, please.
Now, me talk to.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. This is Momo the call from Fargo.
You get 3 minutes, Momo.
Okay, sir. Triple the free education, not a good idea, but it would difficult for let it work now, Sierra Leone right now, because from the past government to this, if a country, a government will give in people and the basic things away. The trigger the country economy when electricity and water, what thing they go able to do? It's not just possible. Anything beside anything and they not become a permanent operation things. Wait now forget electricity, when a permanent electricity and water they run now every side where investment go look to the internet and go able to come and invest. Because the more investors the way it gets in a country, the more business you boom in a country, now the government will challenge all them things having to do so. Governments not get money for sponsor this education. All them rely on the foreign donors for go out and big. If you watch the speech where the presidents go make now the UN summit, indirectly this not big because now where he don't sell in speech that way they. In the hope say council and go come and sorry and go say, oh, this government is serious. Then go come and count money for gang them. So how long you go to beg for sponsor education? Where every year the challenges in the rise, if you get more students already come every year, and the more you get for spend. the education spending is not going to come down. Now increase every year because more picking than they come every year na school for carry register. So it will continue for big every year. The government then get a basic how then they get money for this. So no matter how we look at it, the disabled during the suffer, they just now so it get for continue. Not to say they don't know say they suffer, they know everything. Not to say they're blind, no, they know because the money no day for take up the responsibility. That are the whole bottom line. You know, the money no day. So this anyhow we see the government of Sierra Leone they get for try for get the basic things that what people need. When na go count foreign investment, when electricity permanently and water for run at that country everywhere. With that, we will begin to see that country the boom with the businesses. When them people in the can, then they go able to sponsor a lot of things. We're not to government, as other callers and say, we do oversee the see a lot of things away. This country they boast on. Not only government to take care of them. Now because the basic don't they invest or business people then they come and donate and help a lot of things that government for take care of. But we country, the basic no not there. So people in the day work able can invest or for able help. So government rely on big. So for the fact you are big, they big for take care of things, you're not going to be able for succeed. You're not going to be able for succeed. So now this make it for cinema. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Momo.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, caller, you live on here. Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, Mr. Triple A. God bless you, sir. This na Pacol.
Yes,
My
Pakol, you
Facebook
get.
name na Donald Cole.
Oh, okay, fine. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, I want to God thank you for this moment. What you do so is very, very necessary for our society. Me, I strongly believe say we problem na salon. It gets a lot for do with the constitution. But let's start first with disabled population. Most of the people in a salon they neglect the disabled. I will share a simple, short story with we all real quick. Back in the 90s, this last one happened inside Freetown. I meet a lady where he born a disabled Peking. This lady say, in the return this Peking, because the Peking are devil, they go now what Salogo return the Peking back to devil. I said, are you serious? I said, no, say this Peking are special need Peking, so that whether there's some people they think. So if some people they neglect, disabled people in Freetown, now whether they think, say, then people not belong to society. But then I all theory for discussion already. Look now to people who put in a position of trust. Most of them people who put in a position of trust, they feel comfortable because they get the power. The executive is too powerful. Once the constitution rips some power off the executive, we go begin to see changes. The second thing they got our road most plan. We parliament need for step up. If it's all we the one who put in our power, they go around and say things, they feel comfortable. Because with parliament, they put them on check. We parliament need for step up. When we parliament step up, then things will happen. But if they don't step up, people need to begin vote them out of office. When people begin vote them out of office, if you go do one time, trust me, the next month they go wake up. You go begin do something sober. But parliament then just sit down. They know one go, they know one guy. So the system just go from bad to worse. The executive so powerful. Then they ride the judiciary. Then they ride everybody. Within the one they do. So at the end of the day, that the same news they come out, let's explain. So until we constitution change, we reap some power from the executive. Salon, we'll get a long way for go, my brother. Let God bless we all, and let God help we will sorry for that one they disabled. And I believe say they need help. They need serious help, especially from the government. Family members themselves get a lot for do. But this one we all for take care of the one they were not able to take care of themselves. May God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much, General. Yes, caller, you live on here. Your name and where you call from, please.
Good evening, Mr. Triple A. Thank you very much for bringing this wonderful program. So we all, let God bless we all the callers, them plus the presenters, that will then present this wonderful program today. Now, my name is Sheku Mansare. Now, me been send that text.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Okay. La tell on say me na a double amputee from Sierra Leone. I didn't New York right now.
My colleagues that were left there with them, don't, most of them don't die out of depression, out of poor heart. If this government people and think say they help them people, they are a big lie. Every year they turn back and then camp, they also then put them in company disabled people there. I know how they suffer in our country there. That tell you, brother, that tell everybody in the world, let them understand. We disabled as alone, you are useless person. Now one person thinks say you are a very important person in the society. Now one person, I repeat that again. But this government tell them can like the person. Even the past previous government, they don't like the person. They're not able to do nothing for the people with disability in our country there. People like me, if you may not come in this country as if I know for land book. I know for we will achieve nothing. Really? All my company I know of where they did most of them are street beggars there for their survival. Yeah, it's not they're all the good pain. That start from the boat, the blinds, they're all take the people who are in the wheelchair. All. There's no privilege, there's no place for another country they outside and go survive. I get my colleague right now, we don't do school, you don't go now for college, they're country to hand. They want to go do teaching. You don't apply in all kinds of school, they're not getting, yeah? You can sit down and that. With education, all we get, you don't get nothing for survival. So if this government, they can't like give people in this country, the reality, they test me and they go. I tell you all thank you for Rob Mont for this program, this wonderful program. But I tell you, brother, we as a disabled people in that country, we suffer. The colleague in the suffer. Me, I tell God, say, I oversee at the work. But my colleagues in the suffer. I tell you, brother. You can send your camera, talk to the camera in the street, you go to the amputee camp, then they wear axe. They see that in the street beggar, nothing ready for them. Then picking themselves, they know they consider themselves as them support them, picking them to go to school. Let alone, then they can't talk about these people with disabilities in this country. It's a big shame. The person will write that speech here, if we don't look inside that speech here, say, no, we need to do this and here. Really? And that come out, I know what happened. I tell you, thank you, let God bless you. I hope the society as a whole can change their perception about people with disability. We are talented. We want to do something. We want to be important in the society. You understand? The government, everything, they don't give way. Like Mr. Usfriend, what he say about Handicap International. Now we and the people who establish Handicap International now, Aberdeen Road camp. Today we go there. Brother, nothing no DD, no tools no DD. Whether I hand over to the government say for take care of amputee them, for make prosthetic legs for them, for make hand for them, nothing. Nothing no DD. A place like a dustbin. Nobody don't get mind good for get anything. Because if you don't get money, you don't get no tools, food, nothing no DD. You don't see? This is not the thing. I tell you plenty thank you, and the people all the contributors there. Now we put we heart together to help with Fambulewood and with our disabled people in the country. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Sheko.
Yeah.
That's now your brother, Sheko Mansaye. You don't follow you for a bit now. Maybe some people not be know, but I guess now you don't know. We heart always there with him. Yeah. You know, the saddest part when we start the program, we get people them where begin for politicize the topic. That's not the saddest part. That we can't have conversation without having other people for think otherwise. Look what they talk about. Look what you they talk about. Salon. Who dey first. Until we all begin speak with one voice. I know it's hard for make we all speak with one voice, but in a reasoning, at least you're gonna say we dey advocate for people them where they feel neglected. Eh? God help we. What's politics? We party. Now we put before. Pass the issues them of national importance. We'll go there back tomorrow. And so go left here. I believe say them go here. I believe say Dr. Singh self go here. Just in case he don't sleep in mind. Himself go here. Till we meet again tomorrow. Triple C. Tata.